And we're gonna be walking through one of our case studies and just kind of how we think through that whole process. And
it is so much more than just the logo and the colors. And so thinking through the brand much more holistically, how are people gonna interact with this brand, and trying to really draw that out of those discoveries has been a real game changer.
Let's get into a case study and walk through kind of how we bring this to life. This company in Utah is called Fat Cats, and it's like a pretty well-known like fun center is what they call it. And they came to us and said, you know, we are looking to kind of change our target demographic from kids to a little bit older of an audience. We can't just blow this logo up and start with something new. We need to take this design and also like keep some of the look and feel of it so that people can still recognize it. And we looked at what was working well about the logo and what was not working with the logo. And we were able to like keep some of this element of like the cattail, which is like really fun, as well as like make the letters playful, but also feel like a little bit more modern and not just kind of like thrown into this logo that it was in the past. And then the next thing was color palette, because we needed to really show how playful and fun these centers are. We've got like a really good logo now. We're like really developing this color palette. And now the next thing we really want to look at is like, how do we scale this with some secondary elements? The name Fat Cats lends to using cats. Cats are fun. And so we were able to be like, all right, let's use these illustrations of cats and start utilizing them in some secondary elements. And so we're able to take like these elements from the logo, and so we started playing with them. And so all these elements now were coming together and starting to breathe life into this particular advertisement. And so we were able to really take a lot of this and really start building into something that was scalable, flexible, fun. We like have put together all of this already into Adobe Express, but we're gonna show you how we kind of integrate it into our workflow and utilize it a little bit. So you go into your libraries and then you go to the browse shared libraries, but then you can come in here and you can select your library in which we have Fat Cats selected.
So your stuff is like, you know, if you create anything in Express, that's where it's gonna go. But if you hop over to projects, and we've got a couple examples.
Cool, so now that we've got this in here, one of the things that I noticed that we were missing a color. So if we go into view all, I was like, where is this light blue? Then I went over into Illustrator and I had this in my style guide. And you can open up your library. So if I come in and I select that light blue, use the picker, and I can come down and hit the plus, then I can add that color. Yep, and now the colors are added into here. So the really powerful tool again here is that you can share this now with the team and other employees.
So what's so freaking cool, now not only can we share the colors and the assets, but Adobe Express allows us to have a bunch of different templates. If I'm gonna create a bunch of social assets, we can sync some of those assets, and we've got the blobs and the shapes, which is cool, but like, where do photos fit in? That was something that like I was trying to figure out myself, but what I found is that you can actually connect other tools and other libraries to Express as well. So you can imagine a workflow where if I'm creating let's say a new Instagram square post, if I go to your stuff and then scroll all the way over here to Lightroom photos, that's where we can pull in the Lightroom photos. What I'm gonna do is hop over to Lightroom. Here we go. So we've got Fat Cats. And so if we needed to adjust something in here, or like say we just wanted an image with one cup, which I actually did need the other day, then we could totally remove one of the objects and clean it up. Now we have got the assets that we need to create a post. Okay, so if we go over to the brands, you can create a new file from one of those templates. So we're gonna go over to our stuff now that we're in a file, and we're gonna find the cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add that, and we're gonna send that to the back. Cool, so now we have changed some aspects to this, and we want to resize to a couple different variations. We wanna do Facebook. You can just choose Instagram, which is super cool and useful. But I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate and resize to all these different platforms. And what's so cool is Adobe Express will do its best to resize all of these different pages for you. If what you can do as a designer and as a creative is empower the people, the marketing departments, the freelancers, the CEOs, the founders, to actually use those assets, that's where it really becomes really powerful for them.